cycled into the office today and my hay fever's definitely back. Took tablets and whatnot, but god damn, I'm aiming to get my hair cut as well, which is why my hair's flat. Also expected some people to be in here because there was a big meeting yesterday. Presumably people are still here from London. I was right, there was two other people. One of them is from London, the other one comes in quite often apparently. I just never met him. He's new, there's a new team, so there's that. I had a good day today until the afternoon where I absolutely broke an environment and then like took me about 2 hours to bring it back, which was annoying. It was one of them like mad scrambles to try and get it sorted, and then like there was just no clean way of doing it and I couldn't roll back. I had to go forward and just kind of figure it out, but not figure out it in a good way, you know? It was very annoying. I also don't necessarily think it's fixed, but it's in a team environment and no one cares about team environments, especially overnight. So I called it a day at 6 o'clock. That's when I came home. I was aiming to leave at 4:30. Up until then, I was having a great day. I got my hair cut. When I went out to my haircut, they were filming Doctor Who in Bristol. And I walked past where they were filming it. David Tennant there and whatnot. That was cool. I had no idea what it was because all I could see was like a car that was on fire and a crowd and a fire brigade that didn't seem to be doing anything, and then just a load of people who were pretty chill about it. And then realised what it was. Got my hair cut, came here, and then basically killed time. Made a jacket potato, cycled back. It's so hot. It took me 30 minutes. Usually it takes me about 15 minutes to cycle in the morning. It took me 30 minutes to cycle in because of traffic. There's no roadworks and I'm not very good at weaving around traffic yet. And I'm also trying to be a good boy as well. I don't like cyclists that want to be both pedestrians and bikes. Are you a car or are you a pedestrian? It means you stop at red lights, my G. Anyway, yeah, usually it takes me like 17 minutes, I think. Took me 30. On the way back, it normally takes me like 25. It's a bit longer, it's a bit more uphill. 30, I was going as gentle as possible, just because I didn't want to get hot and sweaty, and I didn't. There's no need to like rush around for stuff like that, you know. I just touched my eye, I'm gonna get hay fever now. Okay, so last night, when I left work yesterday, I thought that it was still going to be broken. It's not, it's working, happy days. So that's good. I was on holiday today, so I'm like pushing through just like 8 releases, like just a mad amount of stuff that I'm pushing through today, and then I'm just getting stuck in with some shizness. I'm making a cup of tea. I went to the gym this morning, and I just got me thinking, what is it about some people that like are just able to handle more heat better than others? So this weekend, when I was in Nottingham. Yeah, this weekend. God, doesn't feel like that. It feels like further away than that. It's Thursday, to be fair. I just thought it was Tuesday in my head. It will knock. It's by the way. But anyway, we're watching it, and I'm like, I'm so hot. But Sean and John are fine. You know what I mean? What is it about me, in particular, that means that I can't handle heat very well? That's what I want to know. Because, like, I understand if you're carrying around a little bit more, like, insulation. I get that. I'm really skinny, though. And I think, as well, I'm quite fit. So it's not like I'm unfit, and it's not like I'm carrying more like, for lack of a better word, like blubber, keeping me warm, right? Like whales do. My theory has always been that I'm like a bit hot-blooded, like my body just runs hotter than average, I guess. And I thought that was down to metabolism, but then like fit people, like Olympians, like obviously way fitter than me, but like, you know what I mean? Like fit people, like, or like footballers or whatever, go all around the world and like exercise in boxes, exercise in deliberately hot conditions because boxing rings are really hot to get used to the heat and stuff. So they have, so they have really fast metabolisms, but they don't get affected by the heat as much as I seem to. Maybe I have a fast metabolism, but I'm not fit enough to keep cool. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, I went to the gym today and I did running and stepper. And then I did swimming because the sun was out. It was glorious. I even after swimming as well, sat on a little sun lounger for a little bit. It was lovely. But like my fitness levels drop so I just can't do it. You know what I mean? Like it's so much warmer today than it has been in previous days, and I just can't maintain the same kind of fitness. Which I obviously makes sense. It makes sense, but I feel like I'm disproportionately affected. You know. But yeah, I'd be interested to know like what it is about a person that means that they're so my theory. I was thinking about this literally as I'm sat around the pool, just like sunbathing. Maybe all of my idea of like fitness has always been swimming, and I've always swam in a like well not always, but like towards the end of my swimming, I was always in like an Olympian pool, which is like cold, like it's really cold. You get in and you have to sprint the like first 50 meters just to warm up, you know, like cold. So maybe like I trained my body from like a child to perform in cold temperatures, and therefore I can't perform in like warmer temperatures. And then I thought like even further, like even then when I first got a job, like all of my jobs have all been in relatively cool conditions. Like air conditioned offices aren't that cool, but before that I worked in a fridge, basically. So maybe with like enough brute force, like you can kind of teach yourself out of that so you can handle heat better. I don't know. But it's annoying. So I had to go at lunchtime, sat out in the garden, sunbathed for a little bit. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I just need to be a little bit less allergic to the sun and more like try and enjoy it, and then maybe that will get me there. A bit like my little, I don't know if I said earlier, and I can't go back on, when I finished, yeah I did, I sat on some bed for like 10 minutes in the morning. Obviously it's way colder in the morning than it is now. Tomorrow's the hottest day so far, I think we're hitting 30 degrees in London. Obviously we're not in London. It's 20, it feels like 29 today. Today's been a pretty chill out day. Pushed through a load of things, like I said, and I've got to the point where I'm a bit stuck. I just need to merge something through so that I can then test it properly, because we're using like a load of half configured stuff, and like you've just kind of got to commit to something being right to test other things when you're in a scenario where like you need it to be in a certain state before you can actually realistically prove it works. And there's only so much you can do locally. Especially with all our security configurations that we've got. It's a pain in the ass. Otherwise, I had a standard evening. I don't really do much in the evenings anymore. I've got my bike out ready to go to the gym. And I've not even gone yet, and I'm already regretting my life choices. I forgot to vlog yesterday. God damn it. So I did cycle to the gym. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be either. Like, it was hot, but obviously by the time you're cycling, you're kind of like cooled by the air a little bit. Like, when you go in slow and up hills, obviously it's horrendous, but my logic was, if you can't go in that weather, what weather can you go in, you know? The fact that I have 2 red t-shirts for the gym really fucks me over. I don't want people to think I'm wearing the same t-shirt back to back, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, so when yesterday cycled there, did a weight session, cycled back. I'm a bit of a convert to Friday afternoon. I feel like I've got a good split now, where I go like Tuesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday afternoon, Sunday morning. I feel like that's a good split. And I quite like Fridays because I'd cycle there, or Sunday mornings as well. I cycle there, do a weights thing, come back, and I've kind of got cardio as well, you know. I would cycle tomorrow, but it's pissing it down, so I'm not going to. But yeah, so I'm enjoying it. Like I say, I feel like I've got a good split going at the moment. Otherwise, yesterday, pretty standard-ish day. I was working on a load of new stuff, which is kind of good fun. I am just making sure that my laptop's plugged in, but I've got everything ready so I can go to the gym tomorrow, because I'm on call for this weekend. So yeah, we're like playing around with some Helm charts. It's quite interesting because half of the like pipelines that we have are all like in development as well, so you've got to like kind of jump through some hoops to get through security and get through all of this other stuff, but it's quite interesting. And then otherwise yesterday we had like I say, went to the gym and then just had a chilled out evening watching TV. We should have watched James Bond because we're watching all the James Bonds, and we're not going to be able to watch it today or tomorrow because of Formula 1. Today it's been wet, so we went out to pick up a delivery that Laura had, and then we went to Sainsbury's to get some like lunch stuff, because we're not shopping on a Monday this week. Insanity, because Laura's doing some weird stuff at work, which means that we're actually going to go a different day because it's better for us. Otherwise though, we've not done anything. We have done a load of like life admin, you know, like the crap that you have to deal with as an adult. You know, like you get an email You're like, ah, fuck, I've got, it's that time of the year, is it, boys? And bought some stuff for holiday. Got some filters for Monty's cat fountain. That kind of life admin. Bullshit. Bought a clock. Actually really excited about our clock. That's not boring. And then what did we do? Then we just like, Laura's played some Xbox. I played some Xbox. I had an email that said I had like £4 credit on Xbox that's going to expire. I'm like, what can I do with £4? I'm just going to let it expire. But I found Time Splitters on the original Xbox. And god damn, is that a blast from the past. So I was playing a little bit of that. Laura's playing Lego Harry Potter. Then we had dinner. Belly pork. Was nice. Watched Formula 1 in the evening. Happy days. Standard, boring, wet day. Last day of the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Got up early, went to the gym. Last on-call gym session, last weight sesh. Drove there because it was rainy. It actually wasn't rainy, but it was wet last night. We were forecast to rain today. But I actually don't remember it raining that much. So I probably could have, but it was very spitty. So I was never going to cycle. I was never going to roll that dice. Yeah, came back here, we had breakfast, we got ready, we then headed into town, did a little bit of holiday shopping. I needed some t-shirts for the pool. I think the last thing I need now is like some summer shoes. You know, like things just kind of slip on for the evening kind of thing, you know. I own some Allbird ones and I have not got the balls to pay that much money for them, basically. Otherwise, we had some lunch and then headed back and then played some Xbox, had some dinner, watched Formula 1, great race, finished Temptation Island, we've just got the reunion to do for season 3, and that's bedtime. It's my last evening on call, so hopefully we have a nice quiet sleep and we're back to work tomorrow. Lots of fun stuff to do tomorrow. Oh baby. Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. We are at work. I am trying to figure out how to get a deployment working. Playing around with the new technology, which is like fun, because it's new stuff, but there's like loads of different moving parts that are all kind of in development. So whenever it goes wrong, you've got to try and figure out which part of it is broken, and not all of it I have sight on either. So it's like, it's quite annoying to do, but I'm working on it. I figured out, I think I may have figured it out. What was going on. I'm taking it's a bit of a guess, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm having a load of fun. I've been sat here. I had to go to the post office to drop off a delivery, pick up a card, and pick up some tuna for dinner tonight. Laura is in the office and she's going to the gym tonight. We're not going to Sainsbury's on a Monday. What the fuck? Laura does the gym now after work, so she and she can't do tomorrow because she's working in a different office. So we're like moving things around basically. It's kind of weird that like we're kind of so different in the sense that like I couldn't imagine going to the gym after work, except on a Friday. I don't mind it on a Friday because it's like lunchtime. But I couldn't imagine like wanting to go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the evening, you know. But yeah, that's what she does. So that's why we're not, because she's going 2 gym classes tonight. So she does classes, which I guess are less good as they open, which is when I go. But yeah, so that's why we're like having a weird week. It's going to be a Monday and a Tuesday because we're going to go shopping tomorrow instead. And I'm kind of bored because I'm just clicking deploy and watching it fail and then trying to figure out why it failed. That's what I'm doing. But yeah, otherwise, me and Laura have been dating for 12 years today. Crazy. It's mad when you like think about it. Only been alive. Oh, I'm old. Won't be long until it's the majority of our lives. In fact, by the time I hit 30, no, 31, I think we cross over more than 50% of our lives together. I say I'm fucking old, so it's pretty close. I mean, I've been vlogging for what, 10 years now as well, so damn. But I got her a delivery. My computer literally just turned off there, which is good because as I pressed the record button, I was like, I probably shouldn't record that. Got a delivery present ages ago. But like, I haven't mentioned anything all day because I haven't had a chance to get a card. We went to town yesterday, and while she's in a changing room, I like ran out to go and see if I could get a card from a shop. And they just had shit cards. So I wasn't able to get a card until today, basically. Shit boyfriend. I hate cards. I hate Father's Day. Hate Mother's Day. I hate cards. They're shit. I don't understand why people feel like cards of any value, but Laura likes them. I'm the only person in the world that despises cards and think they're an absolute waste of space. But I got her a card, so I'm trying my hardest not to stress myself out. I'm in a bad mood. I feel like there's just, I've had such a shit day of like, there's nothing I can do to fix this problem and no fucker wants to help, you know what I mean? You just spend days just asking, like, oh, what do I do with this error? Like, what? None of it is fuck all to do with me. It's all security based. It's all infrastructure based. It's all beta stuff. I'm just so pissed off. And it's like, oh yeah, well, when we start looking at this thing, when we get one thing fucking working, calm down. Jesus Christ, it really fucks me off. And I couldn't give a fuck either. I literally couldn't give a shit about any of the bullshit that they want us to build and work on. It's not fun. It's not interesting. It doesn't do anything. It's pointless. It's a waste of time. Someone else to do it that actually cares. I couldn't give a fuck. I'm just raging. I'm so pissed off. How little do I give a shit about how to set up Kubernetes clusters with custom pipelines that are just completely irrelevant as soon as I leave this company anyway. No incentive to give a shit and like actually learn anything, because I'm not learning fuck. It's all custom. And like I say, like, oh yeah, whippy yippee fucking ki-yay, we got one app that we already have running somewhere else, running here now. Yay. What value? Well, I spent 2 weeks doing a deployment, which is basically fucking easy. It's supposed to be fucking easy, anyway. Oh, Jesus Christ, man, I'm so done with this shit. And I'm so done of messaging for help, and then people be like, oh, look at how cool this thing is. I don't give a shit how cool that thing looks. It doesn't look cool. It looks fucking nerdy and crap and bullshit. I know what it fucking does. It doesn't do anything. It's just a name. It's just a name and a meaningless slab of text. Calm down a bit now. But the other thing that's pissed me off, I feel like I've just kind of got a, it's kind of like a couple of things are just all kind of layered on top of this thing where it's kind of like you feel just kind of unsupported or whatever. Like, and it's a case of, we're like bunged up, which is why I'm talking funny. I can feel it like in the back of my throat. Right, so a combination of working on a load of things that I don't find very interesting, and I feel like there's no like kind of support or help in trying to get stuff done. Firstly, there's that. Then there's like this ongoing thing about they're opening up the London office. And this sounds really petty, but like we had a load of Londoners came down and they just kind of, we've now kind of got no tea or sugar. Well, no, we've got sugar, no tea or coffee. I don't drink coffee, obviously, though, which is why I said sugar. No tea or coffee in the office anymore. I bought the tea and sugar last time. And now, like, we had a meeting about, like, how great the London office is going to be, about how they've got, like, full-on everything under the sun. They're thinking about getting a beer thing. So they got a beer fridge. They don't have a beer tap, unfortunately. And I'm like, what's going on with the tea and coffee in Bristol? Like, what's happening with our office? And basically, we used to have a London office. It got shut down. We got a load of all of the cast-offs, basically, from the London office because they had nowhere to store it. We had a load of coffee machines that were never plugged in the Bristol office. They've now just gone back to the London office now. And we're like, oh, right, so what, do we just carry on buying our own tea, do we? Is that how this works? And I know that sounds petty. Our new office is in near Borough Market, right? And he says, oh, the coffee machines are too expensive for the Bristol office, which is why they've gone back to London. I don't know about that. Maybe they've got rid of them entirely, actually, because probably the tea and coffee and stuff is all supplied by the people who run the offices, because it's like managed office stuff. But anyway, so there's no coffee machines for the Bristol office, but there's loads of independent coffee shops with a 5-minute walk of the office. Like, oh, right. Yeah, Borough Market, famously devoid of coffee shops. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, so it's like, no one gives a shit about, and they were just, anyway, like I say, that's all kind of dumb. And then the other thing is someone on my team, obviously we have an on-call rota, right? So we're on call 1 week every month. And my week was last week, and I was only on call for a little bit of it because the week before, that person whose week it was, my team lead, couldn't do Tuesday to Friday, So I swapped with him. So my Tuesday, I did Tuesday to Friday the week before, and then I did Monday to Tuesday, Friday to Monday last week. And now the guy who's on this week has just said, oh, I can't do this weekend. Can someone swap? And then everyone else in the team has reasons why they can't do it. I'm already at an event for work on Saturday. I already regret signing up for, but anyway. So I'm going to be like representing like kind of recruitment-y stuff, right? So I was like, well, I don't think there's much reason for me to do this weekend. Like, I can do it. It's fine. But I also need to swap, because I also need to swap like a full week next time I'm on, because I'm on holiday. How are we going to manage when people go on holiday? Like, what are we going to do? We're actually going to have a meeting later this week to figure out, because some people have like 2 weeks off. Obviously, it's like summer holidays, right? You can't plan a summer holiday around this 4-week rota thing that changes all the time. So we need to figure out a plan for it. And he was like, oh yeah, but well, we could do that, but then I'd be on 2 weekends in a row. I'm like, I'm on 2 weekends in a row. Because you were weirdly quiet about not having a week, like, you know what I mean? I could have swapped this weekend with you if you wanted. I'd actually really have enjoyed having this weekend off rather than last weekend. We had to cancel some plans. Well, say that. We didn't make plans on that day, the weekend, because I was on call and I would have otherwise liked to make plans. So why do you come to me after my week wanting to swap, when obviously the logical thing to do is for you to do this weekend, I just do next weekend, and then there we go, we're evens again, you know what I mean? But now, you don't want to swap with me again for the next one, because then you'll be on 2 weekends in a row, which I've just done. Why is it different for you? I just feel like I'm getting shafted left, right, centre. That's what I was saying. I'm getting shafted on tea and coffee, getting shafted on support, I get shafted on call. And I get shafted at the weekend because I've got to do this bullshit fucking recruitment thing that I foolishly signed up for, thinking loads of people would want to do it. And I'm basically the only one. Bailed on going for a swim this morning. Went for a walk instead. I'm just trying to pep myself up. Swimming is one of those things where you go and if you're not in a good mood, and like the pool isn't perfect, like if the pool's like semi-busy and you're not in a good mood, it's the worst time. It's the worst thing to do. So I bailed and had an extra lie-in. There was a fox. A fox keeps sitting outside our window and just screaming. It's so irritating. But yeah, so I just kind of went back to bed and slept in a bit. I sat up right in bed and I was like, this ain't for me. I sat there for like 10 minutes. Right, this ain't for me, go back to bed. So we're trying to pep ourselves up. It's going to be difficult because like the key thing that pissed me off yesterday isn't going to go away. I need to find, I've fallen into a rut of doing things that aren't fulfilling. That's the rut I'm in. The gym is the only thing I've got where it's like fulfilling. And even that's like, sometimes not really, you know? It's fulfilling in the sense that I'm going and I'm sweating, but I'm not like working towards something, you know? It's not like, oh, I just hit this new landmark or whatever. I think I've swung too far the other way of being like, oh, it doesn't matter if I'm not doing anything. I'm now at the point where I've got so much time and I'm just not spending it properly. And therefore, I'm not enjoying the time, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, yeah, that's it. I'm not making the most of the time I've got. That's the problem. Still can't figure it out, boys. I had one idea and it's gone. At least I've showed someone else everything I've done and it doesn't look like... It has to be a me problem, but it doesn't look like a me problem. It's not obvious, but... Hey. Today was not a bad day in the end. I managed to get enough people's time to be able to like brainstorm fixing something. It was something I couldn't have figured out myself. I didn't have permissions to get to this thing and or fix it if I got there. A very annoying issue where like we had multiple instances. We had to turn some stuff off, deploy it, and we had some instances that worked in one way, some instances that worked in a different way, but we'd never know that it was working differently in that scenario because the first one was effectively stopping the logs getting there. It was wild. Figured it out, some kind of security issue. I'm now getting to the point where I've now just got to connect it to all of its dependencies and then we're laughing. Again, getting 401s, but from a different place this time. Happy days. Otherwise, waited till Laura got back We cooked dinner, went shopping on a Tuesday. Weird. Check these out. I got these, Laura. Quite funny because I've never bought flowers before and I've always said that I've never understood them, and I kind of just did it because Laura was in a different office today and it was convenient. And I thought it'd be funny if she had to like receive them when she was there. So it kind of takes away the sentiment really if I'm doing it for a joke, but anyway, I'm not doing it again. They're fucking expensive. I had to ask for certain flowers because in theory these ones aren't so bad with my hay fever, but we'll see. I'm also at the period of time now where every time I need to blow my nose a lot, and when I do I get nosebleeds, so I'm just opting not to blow my nose. And like it feels like I've got bogies in there, and I know it's not bogey, it's dried up blood. So fucking leave it, otherwise it's going to bleed again. So I'm just living my best life. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. We are heading into the office tomorrow. I believe it's dry. I'm assuming it's dry. It's fucking hot as balls. Which means that I was psychoed. But yeah, Laura went to bed early because she had a bit of a headache, and I stayed up and watched Euphoria. There's actually quite a few things I'm watching. Laura seems to be struggling to like get into some TV, and I'm watching stuff like on my own, like when she's not around. Better Call Saul is something that I put on like generically, like if I'm cooking. If I'm cooking and I can't hear it, I still watch it, but it's something that I'll like put on in the background. Does that make sense? Whereas I'm watching Euphoria and I'm like watching Euphoria. It's really fucking good. Big recommend for Euphoria. Big recommend for Better Call Saul. I'm waiting for The Boys. I'm waiting to finish Euphoria so I can watch The Boys. But yeah, like I say, big recommend. It's good. I should really bully Laura into watching it a bit more because it is really good. But yeah, it's a bit like when she didn't. It took her a while to get into. She's not very good at like persevering with something, you know. Whereas I like things. I don't know anything about. This is all bullshit, right? I don't know anything about TV or film production or anything like that. But you can tell with Better Call Saul, you can tell they know what they want to do and they're going to do it. You can tell they're not rushing. They take their time. There are things that like are slow and like don't make sense now, and then it adds up later. You know what I mean? It's just like confidence. They're like, we're going to do 6 series, we're going to do it. Whereas things like Peaky Blinders, if you watch Peaky Blinders, or even like the old Sherlocks, like as they go on, they kind of get rushed. They kind of like rush them in to try and get more and more and more in, you know, to make it more and more interesting. And then they fuck it because, whereas like Better Call Saul is so like purposeful and like we have this time frame, we're going to put this many episodes in, and it's just like it's slowly paced, but it's well paced. To me, to a novice's eye. Euphoria is very similar. Also, dripping in money. You can tell that fucker cost a lot of money to make, and it's fucking good for it. So it's good to watch something that's just like dripping in production value, you know. So even from like a technical perspective, they're really good, you know. Both of them. But anyway, The Boys less. The Boys is really good as well, but that different reasons. Anyway, it's time. Get in the video here. I'm going to try and remember to put it on. I'm in a much better mood today. We're going to see how much I get pissed off when I go to the office tomorrow. Hopefully not at all, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.